everyone, Karen here, and today I'm going to be making a 5x7 Z-fold card that looks like the front of Santa's suit. Now, I don't have a set that actually makes this, so what I'm going to be doing is using pieces from my stash. Now, the first piece I'm going to use is the scalloped edge from Crafter's Companion, and I'm going to cut that on a 2x7, and I'm going to use that to make the trim. Now, after that, let me put this over here, I have a scalloped nesting die set that I am going to cut this in half, and that's going to be Santa's beard. Then for his belt, I have this set here. Now, if you don't have this set and you can get your hands on it, this is a great set to have because this has all kinds of buckles and pockets and keys, and it has buttons. It even has a watch. This set you could use for pretty much anything. It even has little foldable tabs in here, which could be nice to have. But this is called Buttons and Buckles, and this was from a while back. I'm not sure if it's still on their website. But I'm going to use the buckle that I cut out of gold mirror card, and I have the two pieces for the belt. And I chose the round buttons, and I already have those all cut out. So for the so the front of the card is going to be a 5x7. So this is Centura Pearl. All this paper is Centura Pearl, and it's just red. Cut the 5x7. Here is the Z-fold card base, which is a 10x7, scored at 2.5 and 5. And then for the inside, I have a 3.25 by 5.25, which is going to go on a 3.5 by 5.5. And I am going to emboss this with this kind of textured fabric-looking embossing folder from Crafter's Companion. So that's the plan. That's where we're going. Oh, and this little Santa is going to go on the inside. So let's get this to the side and let's get this started. Alright, so here is the 2x7, which I'm going to cut and make his little trim. So this set has 3 pieces. One is the piece in the middle, which I didn't think was going to be wide enough for what I wanted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this scalloped edge here, and I am going to put it on this side of the card here. And I'm going to tape this down. And I am going to run this through my machine. And I'm just going to grab my MIDI here. Put this in here. Let's just run this through. So there's the one side. Now when I made my sample, I made this about 1.5 inches. Alright, so I can come in from the other side. Make it about 1.5 inches again. Scoot that over just a little bit more. That'd be about right. Tape this down. And we'll run this side through. There we go. So now we have his trim. Now if you decided this was too wide for what you're looking for, you absolutely could line this up again and make it thinner if you want. But I think with the buttons, I think this is about the right thickness. I think that will look fine. So about 1.5 inches. Alright, the next piece we need to prep is this nesting die here. Alright, so let me bring in my guillotine. So this here, I just need this cut in half, and not exactly in half, because one of the rows of Santa's whiskers here is going to be bigger than the other. So this die here, when cut, comes to 3.5. So if I go to maybe 2 inches for one, bring this down. So now I have 2 rows, which I can make Santa's beard. Let me turn that so you can see it a little bit better. So that will be just fine. Alright, so now we can start assembling this card. So let me bring in my glue. So this will go down the middle. this in the middle. All right, so now I need to bring in my tray here, all my pieces. So now we need to decide where we want to put the belt. The belt will go this way, like this. Put the buckle over it. That will just be about here. And just to make sure, let's put our buttons down. Make sure we have enough room for everything before we glue everything down. And then our Santa's beard will be up here. So I do want the top button covered just a little bit. I think just like that will be good. All right, so let's start gluing all these down. Put a button here. Spread that out a little bit. And I am using the Collal all-purpose glue. And if you haven't noticed, it is back on the Crafter's Companion website for the United States. Because the packaging, this packaging, because this is an older bottle, couldn't be sold in the United States anymore. Because of the laws passed in California and I think Minnesota was the other state. So they had to redo their packaging. But it is back on the Crafter's Companion website. So yay there. You can now get it in the United States again. So it should start showing back up on all the other craft sites that you used to be able to buy it on. I'm pretty excited about that. So this button's a little crooked. Let me straighten it out. Alright. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here just to hold it in place. And I put the buckle through here. And this will go here. So let me glue this piece down. And then I can put the other one on top. Yeah, but this little set here with all the buckles and buttons and everything, it's a great set. I know they sold it a while back, but I'm sure you can look and find it someplace. Let's see, this needs to come over a little bit more. I'm thinking about here, like that. Now we'll glue this down and put a little on the buckle. And line all that up. There is his belt. So this card goes together very quickly. If you sit and just cut out some buttons and some buckles and some belts, and then this all goes together really easily. So for the beard, let me grab some thin foam, because I do want a little bit of height here for the beard. Alright, so this is going to go up here, like so. And I will need to trim this once it's on. So I'm going to put, let's see, put a little piece down here. And we'll put some over here. This cardstock is pretty heavy because it is the Centura Pearl. So here, let me scoot this over for a second and get his beard lined up how I want it. So I'm thinking, because if I'm going to trim this part off here, get that out of the way, I'm going to want it about like this. So this foam here is only 1/16 of an inch thick. You'll see, I use this a lot. It's not very thick. So even 2 rows together are not going to give you a lot of bulk. So let's take this off. Line this up the way I want it. Then I will trim it. So I'm kind of looking at this little here, this little scallop piece here, and that one here. And that's kind of what I'm trying to line up here. Let's see, let me bring that up a little higher actually. Let's see. I think we'll put it there and here. Push that down a little bit more, right about here. All right, so let's attach this here and then I will trim it. So let's get all this attached, all the backing off, and let's line this up where we want it. Should be about here. All right. Now all we have to do is trim this off. Take my scissors and we will cut across the top here. Like that. So there is our beard. There is Santa all finished on the front. Now let's put it on the card base. I think I do want to put a little bit of foam on the ends here. I don't like the way that's hanging out there. So we'll put a little bit of foam here. There we go. That looks a lot better. And I'll put a little piece on the other side. I will just tack that under there and just trim it. All right. Grab my little scissors, trim that there. And there we go. All set. All right, so now we have the card base. I will put glue all the way down here. Hold this in place, and this will be flush because it's all 5 by 7. I think that needs another little piece of foam over there. Let me grab another piece. I'm just going to trim this because I really want it all the way up to the edge, the foam. I'm just going to put that little piece of foam in there. There we go. And just trim it off. There we go. That looks a lot better. Okay. Alright, so there's the front of our card. So all we have left to do is the inside. So I'm going to take the embossing folder. This is the Classic Hessian. And this, again, was a 3.5 by 5.5. And I'm just going to run this through my machine. Alright, so now I put the pattern on there. That just gives it a little extra something. So now I will take the inside of my card, which I'm trying to decide if it needs something. I'm thinking, because I'm going to have the gold on here, going across the top. So I think it needs a little black. So I'm going to take my water reactive jet black and I am just going to edge this card. Like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. Both sides look the same. I think I'll use this side. And because of all the bumps, I need to really get this on here really good. So I'm going to rub this really hard. Make sure I get it all attached. And this will go to the inside of the card. Sure I get my corners. Open up the card. This will go in the center. sure we're all pressed down. Now I was thinking this would go across the top like this, because I don't think it would look right on the bottom. But let's see. Here's the bottom, and here's the top. Kind of leading toward the bottom. Alright, since this is mirror card, I'm going to use my tacky glue. And I have a lot of little holes here to glue down. Make sure this is all glued. Lots of little areas here. And this is also from Crafter's Companion from, many years ago. And we're just going to put this down here. Rub that off. That's the nice thing about the tacky glue is it rubs right off the mirror card. Alright. Buff that up a little bit. And there we have it. The Santa front card. You could put a Merry Christmas on here if you want to, but I really don't even think it needs it. Pretty much says Merry Christmas. Then on the inside, may your Christmas be filled with joy, laughter, and love, with a little Santa on the inside. And then it will stand up like this. So I hope you enjoyed this card. If you did, give me a thumbs up. And please consider subscribing to my channel. And until next time, stay crafty.